Welcome to another episode of the Tech Drive Show, where we dive deep into innovative technology that is transforming the future of work. From blockchain to robotics to artificial intelligence, agri-tech, cybersecurity, education. In today's episode, we'll be talking about robotics and automation. Trust me, we have an amazing guest in the studio today that's going to show some practical tips about robotics. I am your host, Opeyemi, and this is Universal Television Africa. Stay tuned. When we're back on the short break, we'll dive deep into the matters of today. Blockchain, robotics, artificial intelligence, agri-tech, cybersecurity education is changing the world, and you don't want to miss out. Welcome to the Tech Drive Show, where we explore innovation shaping tomorrow's world and groundbreaking technology. My name is Opeyemi on Universal Television Africa. Do well to follow us on all our social media handles and join the innovative conversation for the future of work. Welcome back to the Tech Drive Show. In today's episode, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to talk about robotics. To dive into this topic, we have an amazing guest in the studio today in the person of Mr. Yusuf, who is the CEO of Dark Robotics. He's the founder and CEO of Dark Robotics, and Dark Robotics is an innovative company in the tech space. They do a lot of research and robotics innovation in Nigeria and across Africa. Welcome on show, Mr. Yusuf.
Thank you very much, Mr. Obe. It's nice to be here.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Yusuf.
Nice to meet you too.
So basically, I can see what you're doing, and you even brought us some amazing stuff. Yeah, this is your development, your innovation,
Yes.
and I know we're going to talk about all of these things. But before we get to talk about this product that you have here, please can you elaborate? Tell us what is robotics and what is automation. Give our viewers a general overview of what robotics is.
Okay, when we talk about robotics, I would like to keep it as simple as possible so our audience can relate with it. When we use the term, when we say robotics, basically we're talking about machines that we build to do exactly what we tell them to do. Right? So, and when we talk about automation, we're basically looking at the reduction in human interaction on a specific product.
All right, basically, I would like you to explain in clearer terms, like what's robotics, because basically we have viewers who do not understand what robotics is.
You're right.
Like they want everybody to be able to flow with this conversation, because I see great things on the table here. So
Yes.
basically, I want to whet the interest of more people to look into robotics and for them to join us in what we are doing to position ourselves for the future of work. So please give me a clearer overview and probably the revolution of how we get to robotics.
Well, when we talk about robotics, we are looking at machines that can assist us in our
Machines
daily
that can assist
activities. Yes, and they can help us reduce complex works that we have, right? So that's just a small bit of what robotics is. But the general idea of robotics is you building a machine that can assist you in working on products or reducing the workload for human beings, basically. And there is something about robotics, it does exactly what you tell it to do. Emphasis on exactly, because it can't step outside the bound for now. But there are situations where it can, but for now, robotics is not meant to step outside its bound. It does exactly what you tell it to do.
Exactly what you tell it to do.
Yes.
So basically, there's an advantage. So you can be the builder and you can be the user of the product. So tell us, what are the importance of being a builder or the user of a product?
Well, when it comes to building, it gives you knowledge and it prepares you for the current tech paradigm. There's a shift in the digital space and how humans are going to be interacting with work. The first, or rather the most notifiable progress in technology was the fourth industrial revolution.
Okay.
It's changed the way which we perceived everything. The systems we have here, our phones, our mobiles, basically our cameras, this is as a result of the fourth industrial revolution.
Oh, perfect.
So we are now at a digital
era.
where it's the same effect
Same
of
effect.
industrial revolution is going to happen. So we are going to be having a lot of shifts. So the more
When you get yourself inclined.
yes, towards technology, the better it is. So if you are a builder, you are likely to be part of the future of digitalization. Automation is coming in place, and automation means displacement in job that are currently available. But if you are a builder,
Automation is displacement in job that
Yes.
are currently available.
Yes.
I think that has a threat.
well, it is a threat if you are not informed.
So if you are informed, it's that's the threat. Like,
No, not entirely a threat. Well, we
Okay.
can say there's a disadvantage, not entirely a threat, but there's a disadvantage.
so if we're going to talk about it, because we have to look at it. Is the advantage more than the disadvantage? So where are we? What's the merit and what's the demerit?
So when we talk about the advantage, it's a 50-50 situation. That's
Okay.
for me, because it's the odds change depending on certain situations. So the situation would be if you are knowledgeable, right, your odds don't become 50-50. You have more odds. The
More.
more inclined you are towards technology. But then if you're not inclined, that's where it's a 50-50% chance for you.
So now, when we talk about automation, let us pick it from the agri sector down to healthcare or education sector. Particularly, let us focus on the education. What kind of automation can we have in the education sector? Can you give an instance?
Well, in education, I don't think we're doing automation, basically. Rather, we're working with technologies that would help break down complex subjects in schools. Yes. So one thing with our current educational system, which we are well aware of, is it's heavily theoretical and less practical. But with the introduction of technology nowadays, we can be able to make it practical.
So can you give an instance of the solution you've built in the education sector with robotics?
Okay, so last year, that was 2023, we were working on a research for educational robot, which we called the
Educational
EduBot.
robot.
Yes, so we called it EduBot.
EduBot.
Yes,
Wow.
the EduBot is a concept for the future of education. The idea is to have a robot that is able to simulate science subjects in schools.
To stimulate science subjects in schools.
Yes, simulate
A
it.
robot that will
Yes.
stimulate. How's that possible?
So let me give you an example. So I think we'll be on the same page here.
All right, good.
So let's take physics, for example, right? In physics, you've been taught what motion is, the different types of motion, there are calculations on motion. So if I am teaching you what motion is and everything, and I say, okay, an example of motion is random motion, right? Translational motion. The robot would perform that activity for you. So the students are having
The robot
visualizations.
performs the activities of the motion for us
Yes.
in the laboratory.
Yes, in a classroom, basically. We made it very small, I think about this size,
Oh, okay.
basically. So you can actually see it happening. And then that idea of it is also changing the way we will be performing assignments. Instead of assignment that you take home from school to home, what will happen is you have the formula.
Oh, good.
So you solve it and then you implement it on the robot. If the
You implement a formula on the robot.
yes, like if I give
I
you a
guess
class,
I think there's a lot the audience gets to learn from the show. So, from the aspect of performing motion and now solving assignment, are you talking about theories, math assignments, or what kind of assignment are you talking about?
So-
or does it focus across only the science class, or it also has to do with in humanities too?
well, it's currently it is built for the STEM subjects, basically.
Okay. Oh, good.
Yes, because we believe STEM subjects are the future of any nation, right? So we want to bridge that gap between the theory and practical. So the robot is bridging the theoretical aspect. You know the theory, yes, but do you know how it actually works?
Okay.
Right? So that's
And once you know once you know how the theory works, it gives you a clearer overview and the scope behind it.
Yes.
Now, since it was up on my head when you were talking, say for instance in a chemistry class, I remember then my friend, they do mix some kind of chemicals together, chemical components
Yes,
and everything.
yes.
Can the robot help to do that?
Yes, so we have, although it's still in development, there's a part we call special class model. So this is able to, you can change the parts to fit whatever subject you want to
Okay.
actually work with. I would use this as an example.
Okay.
So if you look at this section, there's a screw here, right?
Yes.
So you can remove this basically, and then you implement it inside. So even if you're dealing with physics, chemistry, agriculture, in fact, you can now input parts to it.
Okay. So
Yes.
can I have this?
Yes.
So what's this used for? I can see this is like a CCTV camera.
Yes. So,
And then what's this particular robot?
okay, so this is
I can see the name of your company there, Dark
Yes.
Robotics. So
Yes.
this is customized for your company.
yes, we built
This is your
everything from
this is your innovation
yes from scratch.
based on sorry, this is based
No,
on
it's fine,
research.
it's module.
Okay,
Yes.
we can remove it.
Yeah, so this is an ongoing research for security.
For security. Can you talk about this?
Okay, so this basically it's an IED bot. So
Okay.
it provides
And what-
explosive devices.
What?
Improvise explosive devices.
Explosive devices.
Yes. So if we look at military or security area, right? We have issues with explosives that are being used. They are not the normal generic explosives we know.
So
these are
the
built-
work of this robot is to detect explosive devices.
Yes.
So how is it possible? How can this robot detect the
So
device?
we have a lot of features to it, which I don't think for security reasons we can explain how they work due to security.
Due to security
Yes,
reasons.
but it is able to do that.
Okay, just in a nutshell, maybe you not dive deep into it.
Yeah.
Say, for instance, how many kilometers can this cover?
Well, we are still running on a test on it, so there is no specific, but we are setting
Like
it
an
to run for-
estimate?
Yes, 100 kilometers.
100 kilometers away.
Yes, on a single
So
charge.
take for instance, we have it in the studio. So this robot can detect an explosive 100 kilometers away.
Yes, so it's autonomous.
Is it going to cover both the length, the breadth, and the regions, or just a straightforward?
It's not, the information is not out yet on that, right? So it's still under development, so we cannot give a specific distance on that currently. But the idea here is it can be able to search, but this version is for battlefield.
For battlefield?
Yes, not on individual, but in the
But
future.
anywhere there can be explosive anywhere, not just on the battlefield.
Of course. So there's a module. This is the first version of it, right? It's not even complete currently. So when we are
But
done
when
with
you're
this-
done with this, is this how it's going to look like?
Yes, these are attachments for the wheels that we're using, right? And this is also modular, modular in the sense that it can move in different terrain that we want. So we are able to change the movement
Okay.
to whatever fits.
So
the
you
terrain.
program it from your studio, from your control room.
Yes, you program it basically, and then you give it.
So
right?
with what you have here, currently the Boko Haram insurgency in Nigeria, do you think this is the solution the military personnel needs?
Yes.
Why do you think so?
Well, it reduces the risk of humans doing the projection themselves. You have a robot that's not very expensive that can go and do the whole search and destroy. It's not just searching and detecting; it also destroys the IED itself.
The IED.
Yes.
So that means it's not just to prevent. Can it prevent?
It's knowing or having information about where something is actually preventing it.
Okay, so this robot can help to detect where it is. Then it gives you a database
Yes.
and information. Then you can detone the bomb.
Yes, we have special sensors on it that is able to perform that task. But although there are some IEDs that you cannot just entirely disengage yourself, that is where personnel can come in. But since they already do know about
Where
the fact
it
that
is.
it is, so it's a bigger distance
Wow.
up for them.
This is fantastic.
Yes.
So basically, in this sense, does it mean that you have to go plant it in a location close to the where the
IED. No. So if there's an IED in this section, right, I can just have the robot here. So its job is to search for it, basically. So it will move around. So with the programming and the AI we're using in it, it's able to identify where IEDs are.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Yusuf. I think at this time we have to go on a short break, and when we're back on the short break, we dive deep into what we have here because I need to explain this and the other element there. I can see a kit there, a
Right.
robotic kit there,
Right.
and we will look at how we can disburse it so that the general populace can take advantage of it. So, dear viewers, thank you for staying to watch this amazing show. We have Mr. Yusuf, who is the co-CEO and founder of Dark Robotics, and we've talked about a lot of things. We talk about this robots that can help to prevent harm, to prevent bomb. And then when we're back on the short break, we'll dive deep into the matter of the day. This is Universal Television Africa.
As Africans, whenever we hear the words mental health or therapy, we often think in extremes, being mad or roaming the streets. On this show, we are here to change that narrative. Together, we'll explore practical real-life solutions, speak to leading mental health experts in Africa, and correct false assumptions. This is not just about awareness, we are about action.
If your sexual health is not in a good state, have someone you can talk to.
You can go to therapy to better yourself.
I'm Fauzia Zakaria, and this is the Mindspace TV show. Healing begins with understanding, and understanding begins here.
Blockchain, robotics, artificial intelligence, agri-tech, cybersecurity education is changing the world, and you don't want to miss out. Welcome to the Tech Drive Show, where we explore innovation shaping tomorrow's world and groundbreaking technology. My name is Opeyemi Salalo on Universal Television Africa. Do well to follow us on all our social media handles and join the innovative conversation for the future of work. Welcome back to the Tech Drive Show. For those of you joining us now, we are talking about robotics. We have amazing guests in the studio who have discussed about robotics and the element of robotics, how we can use robotics in different industries from health sector to education to finance and to help us improve our life. So we have Mr. Yusuf, who is the CEO and founder of Dark Robotics, an innovative company that deep down into research and innovation. Welcome back, Mr. Yusuf.
Thank you very much.
All right, so we've been talking about robotics. So basically, before we talk about this product that we have, we've talked about this surveillance robotics. Then can you tell us what are the importance? How can the Nigerian youth or the African youth take advantage of robotics and automation?
Well, the first step of getting into the digital space is learning.
Learning.
Yes. So I think learning is the first thing you need to do and understand it, not just learning. I think there's a lot of learning going on, but zero understanding. So try to learn and understand. That's the first thing. And I think schools are supposed to have adopted digitalization into
their curriculums.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is an essential need for education currently.
Yeah, I think the Ministry of Education really need to do a lot of work in that regard.
Yes, because there's a paradigm shift currently, and if we do not adopt it early, we'll be left. We've been left in the dust, but we will still be in the dust.
Yeah, because this is the time in history whereby we are competing with the rest of the world. Because in the first and second revolution, we are just more of a consumer.
We are still consuming, though.
We are still
We
consuming.
are still consuming.
So what we're doing has never matched up with what the world is doing.
We are still on our learning phase, and if we do not learn it the proper way, we will still end up being consumers.
Consumer.
Yes.
So how do we go about the learning? Because if for us not to be a consumer, we have to do something about it.
Yes.
For a country where we have a larger percentage of the youth population, how do we harness the potential of our youth so that we can do something great and not just be a consumer?
Well, if we want to look at it, what platform, what organization basically is in charge of educating the youth. We have schools, correct? And then we have governing bodies around schools.
Yeah.
So I believe the adoption of digitalization has is supposed to have happened back then, not even currently
Not
now,
now.
years back.
But this is where we find ourselves. What's the way forward?
So, well, it's for the government to work with curriculums. Let's create curriculums that would help us adopt this in school systems. We have experts, a lot of experts here in Nigeria. So you can speak to experts yourself, collaborate, create a curriculum that is for the people, not a curriculum that you pick somewhere and then you just adopt it. It doesn't know. We have been seeing that
when
in
you talk about
schools too.
curriculum, we have in Nigeria, we are so good at building curriculum, but we're talking about, I think where we need to focus now is practical, the not just the theoretical aspect. We need to focus on practical aspect. So how do this partnership come end in end, the government and the technical experts?
Well, let's look at research first of all. So let's understand the technology. A lot of people don't understand the technology, and robotics has been for a very long while. So how many people still know about robotics? How many people understand what robotics is? Not just robotics, the whole digitalization. What do they understand? For the past few years, I think one of the most popular aspects of tech people know is website development, and website is so old currently. And with
No,
the
that we
current
have AI. Within
exactly
5 minutes,
you
10
can
minutes.
speak to the AI then to
And
create
AI
a
will
website.
build you a
So
website.
that's how old website
So
is.
also even coding is going
It's
extinct.
we can say that, but not entirely extinct though. There still has to be some tapping that you have to do yourself.
Okay.
But yes, a lot of things are actually changing, and all through we've never been able to understand how these things work very well.
Oh, good.
So we have to start embedding them into schools, since they are the center of knowledge for any nation. We have to embed them into schools as a standard curriculum.
Oh.
In fact, I believe we have to change the curriculum entirely to fit the current age that we're in.
So, Mr. Yusuf, you can see that you have a robotic kit here.
Yes.
And this robotic kit is for secondary schools.
Well, not just secondary school, primary schools and secondary schools.
Oh, the primary school kids can get to use this.
Of course.
Would they be able to understand it?
Well, yes, we've developed. Part of what we do is research and development. So we've developed curriculums that are able to. We have schools currently that are using the curriculum. Apparently, we have kids of secondary schools that are building drones. So drones normally, currently, is university levels that build drone, but we have kids that are able to build drone from scratch to finish due to the curriculum. So we simplified it.
Please, can I get to see this?
Okay.
Yes.
So this is the kit.
Okay.
And then this is what comes with this kit. So currently there are a lot of kits that they sell
So
online.
it's just the kit for them to build.
Yes.
The, what's they call the product. So with this kit, they can build. What can they build with this kit?
So with the kit comes with components and different sensors that you can program and understand. But you now have this that you can actually use to practicalize whatever you've learned. There you can see there are holes in certain places, right?
Okay.
So these are to fit the sensors that come with this. So if you look at this, so this is what is inside this kit.
Okay, so the curriculum your organization has built is to help them. So that means they are to combine all of this.
Yes.
To build something.
Yes.
Is it just what can they build with this?
Well,
Can they build a drone with this?
not entirely, not a drone specifically. If you want a drone,
Okay,
that's a separate kit.
A separate kit.
Yes.
But what with this?
So you
bit?
can, sorry, you can build a security robot with this. You can build a simple
security
automation.
robot.
Yes. You can build a
What kind of
simple-
security robots?
So something that detects how close you are. Like you can see this robot, right? If I have an ultrasonic sensor here, so and I put it close to my door in the night, if something comes close, it can alarm me. So that's a little bit of security at a low level pace.
So this is just like basic robotics,
Exactly.
like introductory robotics.
Yes, yes.
So just sensor, they're just playing for them to play around sensor, the use of sensor.
That's robotics is integration of sensors.
Okay, so I'm talking about this particular kit. It's just for them, like it's just basic, not the
Yes.
elementary aspect of robotics. Or what do you want to have to say about this in addition?
Well,
Perhaps for a principal who would like to have this as part of the
this
curriculum.
is a kit this is a robot that comes with this kit. So the idea is for them when they learn, right, they practicalize with it. So they can be able to build small projects with it.
Small
So depending
project.
on the knowledge you have, you can expand on it. It's a modular thing. So
Okay.
you can, if you learn very, very
modular
well,
thing.
yes, you can increase your knowledge. From
Oh, good.
beginner, you can do a beginner project on this, medium, and then advanced on this too.
All right, I know our audience and our viewers we are wondering, what is this? This looks like a car. Am I right?
Yes, so this is also something we are doing a research on. So we're just using this base. Well, basically this for an EV, a wireless EV charger.
EV. What's the meaning of EV?
Electric vehicles. which
Electric vehicle.
We are seeing a huge rise in that industry.
Electric, like I think Tesla is doing something regarding
Yes.
electric vehicle.
Yes. A lot.
So you are you building an electric vehicle?
Well, no, rather an electric charging station.
So
but
what you are
wireless one.
you are building an electric
Charging station.
charging
one.
station wireless. So
Yes.
that means you don't need to plug into the car today.
Yes,
So
and
how is that
with-
possible?
So we are looking at, if electric vehicles are going to be in the economy, one of the huge issues we would have is charging it, right? So
Considering what we're having with band A and band B, so the new minister of power, he came, his first day in office, he gave us a shocker with band A and band B. At the
Right.
point there was a debate around it. So now let's assume with someone, I purchase an electric vehicle and then I have to charge it to the band A. It's going to be more expensive than going for a petrol PMS.
Well, that has to do with it's a whole separate sector on its own.
Yeah, no, so what I'm talking about is wireless. So your innovation is sellable in the sense that they don't have to charge, they don't have to use the band A or whatever. So what's your solution?
You can use solar to charge it.
So your own innovation, they are using solar to charge it.
Yes, but the idea now it's a wireless distance, so you can embed the charger on the road. So instead of you going to a charge station and wasting time, you can charge on the way.
With this solution.
Yes, so it's just like having chargers on the road right now, and then if you are low, you can just follow a certain road for some time while it's charging. You are driving while it's charging.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think we still have a lot of things to talk about, but right now we need to come to the end of the show.
Alright.
So subsequently, we'll bring you back on the show to talk more on your innovation and your research for our audience and our viewers' interest. Thank you so much, Mr. Yusuf, for this time. Mr. Yusuf is the founder and CEO of Dark Robotics in Abuja, Nigeria. In today's episode, we've been able to talk about robotics and automation. We discussed about the surveillance camera, the robotics gate, and electric wireless charger. So basically, we also implore the government to do well to invest in young startup for them to do more innovative solution for the betterment of our country and Africa at large. I am Opeyemi Salako, and this is Universal Television Africa. Do well to follow us on all our social media handles. So I see you again on the next show. Enjoy.